I'm gonna give you to the count of 3, Stitch. 1.
How's it going out there, YouTube land and also social media lands? Welcome to an all-new video. In this video, we're doing a movie review of a new film that just came out this past Friday and is a live-action remake of a great animated film, so we're going to get right into that. Before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss this video and the other videos I put up. As always, people, if you enjoy my content here on YouTube, definitely check out my other social media platforms, such as X, Threads, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Patreon. Pretty much post on these regularly, so definitely check them out. So, let's get right into this. So welcome one and all to an all-new video. So like I was saying before, we're doing a movie review of a new film that just came out this past Friday, and it's a live-action adaptation of a great animated cartoon, which happens to be called Lilo and Stitch. Yeah! Lilo and Stitch. Yeah! So Lilo and Stitch is a live-action adaptation of the original animated film that came out in 2002. And once again, the original director who voiced Stitch, actually came back to voice Stitch again for this live-action adaptation, which I thought was really great because it was great to hear him again and be like, hi. It was awesome and just excellent and just so much fun, and I was so happy to see that he returned to do the voice. But this live-action adaptation, I was really impressed with. I thought that they did a really good job of, pretty much keeping it, almost verbatim how the original film went. Of course, because the original film was only an hour and like 20 minutes long, they changed some things, they took out some characters, that really didn't make a big difference, I feel, and kind of changed a few things, but for the most part, it was verbatim the same exact film, which I was really impressed with. The awesome casting choices were done really well, too, that really provided some great characterizations of these characters and were, great additions and live-action adaptations of these characters we know from the cartoon animated one. And I was really impressed, too, with just everything that was brought to light with this film and how it really did a good job of keeping the same feel of the original animated film. And they didn't try to over-stimulate it or change it, in things in ways that it didn't need to be. They kept the story the same, and it was absolutely fantastic. And it was so fun to see such an entertaining movie again from Walt Disney. And I was really impressed, too, with just the soundtrack, the CGI work they did in the film, and then the scenery was so beautiful. All the areas of Hawaii they chose and used, and it was just all so fun. And, of course, some of the upgrades, for, it being 2025 versus 2002, it was nice to see those upgrades for what kids have and people have at this time and stuff like that, which was really fun as well. But overall, I just thought that it was really well done, really enjoyable, and just was all around really fun. Now, this is directed none other by a gentleman that goes by the name of Mr. You waiting for it? Wait for it. Wait for it. Dean Fletcher Camp. Yeah. Dean Fletcher Camp, yeah. So Dean Fletcher Camp has directed a few other things over the years. He originally was married to Jenny Slate, and he actually co-wrote and directed a little short with her back in the day, and is well known for a feature-length feature of that short as well. And he actually did, I thought, a really fantastic job. I love everything he did with the film. I thought that he had a great eye for how the original was, and I thought that he brought all the good things from the original, applied them to this live-action version, and expanded and made it even better. And I love the comedy elements he got out of this film because they were just so freaking funny and just so hilarious. I mean, how the other characters just really played so well to the T, and he just got some really great comedy out of them and made just a really enjoyable film that was, I thought, a really great live-action adaptation. And also, I think he did a good job at really, embodying the Disney spirit as well again from the past, and really brought it back in this film because you felt like it was a Disney film. It felt like it had those great nuances of a Disney film. A beginning, a middle, and an end with a happy ending. that was really fun, and it had that, kind of thought process of, bad becoming good and this kind of stuff like that, just like a lot of the great Disney classics are. And I thought Dean did a great job of giving us that and bringing that back and giving us that great flavor of Walt Disney in the past again. And I just really thought they did an amazing job with that. And I thought he overall just made a really entertaining live-action adaptation that I think rivals the original cartoon animated film, which is still fantastic as well. But overall, I think the live-action adaptation is a little funner, but at the same time, just as entertaining. And I think, both of them coincide really well with each other. And I think that, Dean did a great job of giving us that option to really enjoy the original along with enjoying this new amazing live-action adaptation. If you haven't seen anything Dean Fletcher Camp has directed, definitely check out his film that he did a couple years ago that was an Oscar contender. I can't remember if it won anything or not, but I do remember it being Oscar nominated back in 2021, and that is the film called Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. Yeah, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. Yeah. Gotta emphasize that title, people. You gotta emphasize it. But anyways, Marcel the Shell with Shoes On is a little feature-length film that is, computer animated or claymation. I can't remember exactly offhand, but I do recall that it definitely is like an animated type of film, and it was a huge success, and everyone thought it was so fantastic and fun. It was in theaters and everything like that, and it got a lot of praise. Even the short that it's based off of got really a lot of praise, and of course, like I said, Dean and Jenny Slate actually, produced it and made it together, and she actually was a part of the process of the feature-length film as well. And I think that what I've seen in the trailer and everything, I think Dean did a good job with this film and gave us this little entertaining little film that was definitely, I don't think, going to be considered a huge hit, and it ended up being a huge hit. And from what I saw on that, he did a really good job of directing, giving a really great story, giving a really interesting, fun theme, and also at the same time giving great music and just thought process to the film. And just overall, I thought did a decent job, it looked like, from what I saw in the trailer. If you haven't seen anything Dean has directed, definitely check out Marcel the Shell with the Shoes On. I heard he did a lot of great things with it, and also I heard it's a really fun film. So definitely check it out if you have not seen anything Dean has directed. But overall, I think Dean did a fantastic job with this Lilo and Stitch live action. It was absolutely fantastic and amazing. If you haven't seen it, go check it out in theaters now. Worth the watch. So this movie has a really great cast, people playing live-action versions and also voicing characters and CGI for them as well, and just a really great, human cast that are all fun and just made the film really enjoyable. And overall, I think they all were just fun and awesome in this film. So to start us off is Lilo herself, Miss Maya Cleola. Oh yeah, Maya Cleola. Woo, Maya Cleola. Yeah. So Maya, I think, did a fantastic job. This is her acting debut, this first film she's ever done, and I think she did an absolutely great job as Lilo. She was fun, she was entertaining. I thought she was great portraying this live-action version of Lilo. I thought she did a good job of getting all the great expressions and the thought process of the original animated Lilo, and I just thought that overall she did a great job just portraying this character and had a lot of great emotions that I thought were really impressive acting for such a young actress. And I really just enjoyed that her camaraderie with all the different people she was with in the film and how well she worked with them all. And even her, acting with, Stitch in the film, I really enjoyed because I thought she did a really good job with that CGI work there that worked out really well too. And I just think that she was a great option and a great idea to play this version of Lilo, and just overall did a really fantastic job. If you haven't seen Maya anything, definitely go check her out on Lilo Stitch. She did a really phenomenal job. Just a few honorable mentions in this film. A few of the people that did original voices in the animated film did not play their characters in the live action form, but were a part of this great film. As I mentioned before, Chris Sanders returned as Stitch's voice, but Amy Hill, who voiced a character in the original animated film, plays the neighbor, who is like kind of like their best friend and kind of becomes their family. And then of course we also had Tia Carrere, who originally voiced Nani in the original animated film, but this time she plays the social worker in this version, which I think she did a absolutely fantastic job as well. And Tia Carrere is just fun to watch. She's always fun and entertaining. We saw, of course, in the Wayne's World she was awesome, but I think she did a really good job as portraying this character, and really kind of, it was nice to just see these great voice cast people portraying live action characters in this film and honoring them for being a part of the original Lilo and Stitch. So I just wanted to mention those great people out because they were just really fantastic. But that brings me to my next actor I'd like to talk about that was in the film, and that of course is the live action and voiceover characterization of a great character that's in the film, the creator of Stitch, Mr. Jumpa, and that of course is played by Mr. Zach Galifianakis. Oh yeah, Zach Galifianakis. Woo, Zach Galifianakis. Yeah. Zach Galifianakis is so funny. He is so hilarious. From The Hangovers to his show Baskets to his Between Two Ferns and so forth, he just is awesome and hilarious. And Zach is always fun to watch because he's just so out there and so crazy, and at the same time he plays like, tries to be very serious but not always serious, and he's just really fun. And I think that he portrayed Jumba really great. I absolutely loved it. I thought he did a great job. You know, fortunately, David Augensteers, who did the original voice of Jumba, unfortunately passed away a few years ago. So I think Zach was a great option to come in and play the character. I thought he did it beautifully. He was super funny, hilarious in both versions, in animated and in live action form. When he's portraying it human-like, it's absolutely freaking hilarious. And Zach just has a great like physical comedy to him, and he really brought that to his characterization, and I thought he was so much fun in it. And I just really enjoyed the interpretation, and I thought it was a great honor to the original animated film. Now, if you haven't seen Zach Galifianakis in anything, definitely a film to check him out in. It's a film that came out a few years ago, over 20 years ago now, that is a great kind of out-of-this-world comedy that I don't think a lot of people know about. And that, of course, is a film called Out Cold. Yeah, Out Cold. Yeah, this is a great like ski resort comedy film with a great cast. Thomas Lennon is in it. David Koechner. I mean, you know, it has a just awesome cast, and Zach Galifianakis is absolutely freaking hilarious in it as one of the ski resort workers, and he has some great scenes with some, you know, different people and stuff like that are on point and funny. He has some great one-liners throughout the film, and he just was really fun to see in it because he was so different than his character in Hangover or anything else I had seen him in. He was actually very different, and it was fun seeing him kind of earlier in his career and seeing him play kind of a different type of role that was a little more normalish, and that's how he portrayed the character, and it was fun to see that, and I think it's a role he doesn't get enough recognition for, and it's just really fun. If you haven't seen Zach Galifianakis in anything, definitely check him out in Out Cold. He did a really fantastic job in it. But overall, I really thought he was a great addition to Lilo and Stitch, the live-action version, and I just really enjoyed him. I thought he was super funny. He worked really well with Billy Magnus, who was supposed to be the other alien guy that's supposed to be finding Stitch, and he was absolutely worked so well together with them, and just was absolutely fantastic in this film. If you haven't seen Zach Galifianakis recently in anything, go check him out on Lilo and Stitch. He was absolutely fantastic. So that brings me to the next actor I'd like to talk about those in this film, and that of course is Zach Galifianakis' sidekick in the film, Mr. Billy Magnus. Oh yeah, Billy Magnus. Woo, Billy Magnus, yeah! Now, Billy Magnus has really made a name for himself over the last, I would say, 10 years or so. You know, a whole bunch of different things, different films and so forth, and I think he's just fun as hell, and I just really enjoy him in everything that he's in. He was most recently seen in the newest Spy Kids film a couple years ago, and he plays the main villain, and he was really good in that too. And I think that he has a really great comedic element to him, and he really provided that in this film. And I think his counterpart version versus the animated version was really fantastic and so much fun, and just worked so well for the film. And he was absolutely freaking hilarious in human form, and he just absolutely played it to the T. It just cracked me the hell up through this whole entire film. and he was just so good, especially some of the outfits he had to wear and stuff like that was exactly how the alien wears things in the animated version, and it just was so well done by Billy, and he just really worked the character, and him and Zach Galifianakis were playing off each other so well, and even when he's playing off some of the other actors and actresses and doing stuff with them was on point and super funny. And I think Billy Magnus is a really great actor who I foresee many years down the road being just really fun to watch and watching his career grow, because he's just so sick and awesome. He was absolutely fantastic in this film. Now, if you haven't seen Billy Magnus or anything, definitely a great film to check him out in, and I thought that he did a good job in, is the most recent James Bond film that came out in 2021 called No Time to Die. Yeah, No Time to Die. Yeah. Really fantastic film if you haven't seen it. One of the best James Bond films out there. And Billy Magnus just plays a really great character in the film that I just really enjoyed. I thought overall he just was really fantastic, did an overall great job, and just really played the character to the T. And also I think that he brought a great sense of his acting ability in the film, and where he's kind of very serious but at the same time action-packed at the same time, really combining the two very well. And I just think he was really fun in the film. If you haven't seen Billy Magnus or anything, definitely check him out in No Time to Die. He did a really phenomenal job in that. But overall, he was super phenomenal in Lilo and Stitch 2 as well as his character, and just absolutely loved his characterization. It was just on point and so much fun, and a great addition to this film. If you haven't seen Billy Magnus recently, go check him out in Lilo and Stitch. He's absolutely fantastic. So the last person I'd like to talk about that was in this film was none other than the great, amazing Mr. Bubbles himself, Mr. Courtney B. Vance. Oh yeah, Courtney B. Vance. Woo, Courtney B. Vance, yeah. So Courtney B. Vance you might recognize as the husband of the great Angela Bassett. You might recognize him from recently. He was in that Grotesquerie show. You might recognize him from a few other things over the years, Office Christmas Party, etc., stuff like that. And Courtney B. Vance is just a really great actor. I always enjoy watching him. He always does a really good job. He's super funny. He can be really serious when he wants to be, but I think his best stuff is his comedy element. And I think he was a really great choice for playing Mr. Bubbles, because if you ever recall in the original animated film, Mr. Bubbles is very serious. He's a social worker originally in the animated version, whereas in this they have him where he's CIA pretending to be a social worker, whereas in the original, like I said, he was a social worker but previously CIA. And I think Courtney just did a great job of bringing that to life and giving us a really great live-action version of Mr. Bubbles, who was beautifully voiced by Ving Rhames in the original, but overall, I think that Courtney did a great job of bringing that to life and giving us this really great interpretation that I really enjoyed. I thought he overall did a really good job. It was really done well. He had some great comedic lines. And I loved the pairing of him and Tia Carrera as the two characters kind of being like social worker people. And I think that worked out really well and changed it up a little bit from the animated film, and, you know, took it to a whole new height. And I just think that Courtney did such a great job and just was on point this whole entire film. Now, if you haven't seen Courtney B. Vance in anything, definitely a great film to check him out in. And I think it is a very underrated role of his that I don't think he gets enough credit for. And that is a great film that came out in 2011 called Final Destination 5. Yeah! Final Destination 5, yeah! So he was in the 5th Final Destination film. He plays if I remember correctly, a cop. And he's really awesome in this film. I really enjoy him. I think he does a really great job of being a cop version character. And I think that overall his character has a really great story arc, and it really plays out really well. And I think that it's underrated simply for the fact that he does such a great, superb job portraying this cop trying to figure out all these crazy, unexpected deaths that he can't explain and like how they happen and stuff like that. And I think it's interesting, you know, how he portrays the character and how he kind of falls in love with, you know, this story and with this, you know, work that he's doing, that he's trying to figure these things out. You can see it, like the kind of detectiveness rolling through his head, and I think Courtney did a great job of bringing that to life and just giving us a really great rendition that was very entertaining, but at the same time a really great addition to that film. If you haven't seen Courtney B. Vance anything, definitely check him out and find out Sinister 5. He did a really fantastic job. But overall, like I said, I thought he was absolutely fantastic in Lilo and Stitch live action. He was so fun as Mr. Bubbles, and I think that he was a really great choice to take that over and give us that really great kind of live action adaptation from the animated film. If you haven't seen Courtney B. Vance anything, definitely go check him out in Lilo and Stitch. He was really phenomenal. So what is Lilo and Stitch about? Basically, the premise of the story is Lilo, who is a young girl who has lost her parents and is being taken care of by her older sister, basically has wished for a friend, and out of nowhere, out of the sky, comes a new friend in this form of this creature named Stitch. And basically, the film's about them helping Stitch out, and Stitch kind of getting to know who he is, and kind of the craziness that ensues with them becoming best buds, and kind of dealing with the craziness of the parents' deaths and, you know, Stitch coming into their lives. And it's just a really fun film. Really, like I said, well done adaptation of the animated film. I think they did a really fantastic job. I was really impressed with how closely they kept it to the original film. I love that it had all the great comedy of the original film, and I thought everyone in it just did such a great job in giving us a really great live-action rendition that felt like a Disney film, too. I have to, really utterly say that, and shout it out loud. This felt like a Disney film again, finally, and it was so nice to see that. That's great value, that feel of the Disney vibe, like the classics, like from Snow White through Lion King, through, Lilo and Stitch in 2002 and so forth. It had that feel again. It was so nice to see that again, and they just did a really great job. If you have not seen Lilo and Stitch yet, highly recommend you go check it out in theaters now. Really worth a watch. Can't wait to add it to the collection. Giant 10 golden movie boxes up. Definitely worth a watch, and another great hit from Disney, and it feels like the Disney vibe again. Go check it out. So that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching, thank you for liking, also thank you for subscribing. If this is your first time here, or you have been before, don't forget to check out any other new videos if you haven't seen mine yet. As always, people, if you enjoy my content here and want to show support for the channel, please check out my Patreon page, where you get all kinds of extra accoutrement you don't get here on my YouTube channel. Once you become a member, you get access to all kinds of cool stuff. Plus, also, every month you get to pick something for me to review just for you. That's something that you get to do. And also, great merchandise. You get merchandise when you sign up too as well. All that kind of cool stuff. So definitely check that out. And always, huge shout out to my new and old subscribers. Thank you so much for being a part of the channel. And as always, see you in the next one.